Africa TV, Free Cup Studio Live. 2020 GSL Super Tournament Season 2.
All right, so we just had stats kind of demolish Dream 3-0. It just kind of looked like a series that one player was better than the other.
Yeah. I feel like Dream had a good couple ideas coming in. Stats, too good.
Yeah.
Bopped them away.
It was like a round of 16 guy against a round of 4 guy is what it felt like.
Yeah.
And that's like pretty much what it was.
I was really kind of hoping that second game on Lightshade would really kind of go the distance with the full macro game, going back and forth with the huge position swings and stuff like that, because they are Dream and Stats had a pretty good game with that earlier this week, so I was kind of excited for that. But not the case. We have INnoVation and Armani as our next match. What are we thinking?
Well, I mean, I think it's actually going to be a pretty good one. Look at these stats for INnoVation this year. Actually, I wasn't quite clear that his worst finish has been a round of 8. That's not bad. I mean, it's not INnoVation good, but like it's still a very solid year that he's having. But he doesn't feel like the unstoppable INnoVation that he felt like for a really long time. He's still very good, one of the best Terrans in the world, no doubt. But Armani has come a long way in the past year. He's really become one of these high-level Zerg players that you can count on for some really high-quality games.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of feeling a pretty good series here. Like, I could see this 3-2 either way.
I feel the same thing, honestly. Like, just look at that story, honestly. Like, going from round of 24, 16, 24, 24, and then rocket boosting straight into the round of 4.
And his play still looks good, too. It doesn't feel like a
Yeah,
fluke is, I think, the main takeaway from this. Because you look at his other results and you're like, okay, something weird happened. And, like, I guess I agree in some regard, but a lot of times when someone flukes into the top 4, they, you know, you keep watching their play and you're like, yeah, no, this is not going to keep up.
Yeah.
With Armani, I almost feel like, yeah, I mean, if it continues like he's playing now, round of 8 next season, in my opinion, you know?
Yeah, I can definitely see that. INnoVation struggling a little bit in ZVT recently as well. He really has he literally has a 50% win rate in the last couple of weeks, last couple of months. So not his best matchup currently. Still looks insane because he's INnoVation, obviously. But Armani, someone who's been doing a lot of stuff in ZVT recently, going 2-4 versus Maru in the semis of GSL last season, beating Cure in the round of 16 or round of 24, one of those.
16. So
his ZVT is definitely very strong, and we could definitely see some very awesome stuff from him this series, definitely.
Yeah, I hope we do. First map, gonna be Death Aura. Let's get into it.
Game start. KaiZ Gaming, INnoVation. Africa Freaks, Armani.
Inno's in like full cozy mode. He's got his old jacket on and everything. It's like he's just like getting set in for the long run right now.
Dream was playing in his jacket as well. Those big puffy jackets, I don't know about playing in those, you know.
It's pretty. They're cozy, man. They're really comfortable.
They're comfy, but I mean, don't they? They screw up your movement of your arms. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're one of those guys that doesn't really use their full arm to move their mouse anyway, I feel like it almost kind of like, it's like one of those like those weighted blankets or whatever. You know what they?
Oh yeah,
how it just kind of just like confines you in where you are and just makes you feel nice and solid where you're at.
Oh.
I never actually use them when I don't play with a jacket, so I don't know exactly.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've tried everything, but I move my arm a lot when I play. You think the INnoVation doesn't really use his arm? Is he just a wrist guy?
I don't know. I literally looked over to try and see if I can tell, and I just realized that I'm actually so far away I can't see at all.
Yeah. I would say we have the best seats in the house, but we don't. Well, I mean, if he's playing with the jacket on, I guess he's fine with it. All right, we'll see here. It looks like just a Reaper expansion, pretty standard from Armani on the other side. is going to be starting zerging speed pretty soon here, I would imagine.
Something interesting that I learned from my good friend Foxer. If any of you NA Heroes ladder over on the NA server, you will know this man. Gave me some Terran pointers, some Terran tips about some recent build orders and stuff like that. Apparently, was going for...
Did any of them have an additional command center? Because you said he plays on NA, so I'm just like wondering.
What meme did I just miss?
Well, he plays on NA, so he's a cheeser, basically.
Oh.
Anyway, no, please continue.
So
never mind. I'm not as fresh with the memes as you.
I am not Dave Bautista. That one went straight over my head. So, yeah, he's been going a lot of the fast drilling claw opener. I think that's the Cure build. People are calling that. Cure did that recently, and they're calling it his build. Maybe that's incorrect, but INnoVation apparently did that versus DRG and Asus a lot. He did it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I have not seen him do it versus Armani, so I'm curious to see if he will bring something out like that this series. But for now, it seems like he's going totally normal. I actually lost the Reaper, but he is going totally normal 3cc behind this with Hellions coming out, so it's looking to be like a total normal game. Armani will likely be going straight into double Evo, Baneling Nest, and Yuta. That's his bread and butter as well, so...
Well, that's the way to do it right now, in my opinion, for this matchup.
Yep.
But about the Drilling Claw opener that you mentioned, you mentioned you did it against DRG and Aces. Basically, that's the build against DRG. You've never seen anyone... Like, DRG is one of the best Zergs in the world. His ZVT is unreal. But I've never seen anyone so bad at dealing with Widowmine harassment in my entire life. I can't even... Like... Really, actually, I've never seen anyone lose that much at the pro level. It is insanity. And then he'll still beat you, but, like, it's really good against him specifically. So I don't know if INnoVation would go for that here against Armani, who's going to be able to clean it up a lot easier than DRG.
Didn't DRG not play at all during Heart of the Swarm? Didn't he leave when Wings Liberty, or was he still?
No, he was still around.
Okay.
He was actually the very last non-Kespa player in GSL at one point.
Really?
It was 31 Kespa pros, which included players like Maru who joined Kespa teams, which wasn't too many, by the way, still, but and DRG. That was a very proud moment I felt, where I'm like, yeah, the old guard is gone. It's only DRG fighting back. Yeah. Anyways, DRG did not make it into Super Tournament this time, so we'll be quiet.
God, we love DRG.
Yeah, he's great. I love that guy. Okay, so a lot of Hellions coming over right now. He does have Banshees on the way. Cloak going to be finishing up here as well as the second Banshee.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that he is going for Cloak this game. A lot of times you'll see a Liberator Viking follow-up to just try and help deny creep to get some sort of map control with the Hellions as well, but the Banshee kind of does that plus more, right? It's really trying to get some good extra drone damage in there. And if you... I mean, some players will have a Hellbat transition with that too. You go for the Cloak Banshee Hellbat pushes. Not as common recently, but it seems like he's just going to go for the Banshee Harass, try to get some damage somewhere. I don't know where those Banshees actually are. I haven't seen one.
He's being pretty laid back with them, I guess. We don't really see him pushing forward too quickly. One thing I find slightly interesting here is, this is very, very quick Baneling speed. I actually thought he would start his 1-1 before Baneling speed instead of after, but it's kind of an interesting thing here. I wonder exactly why he's chosen to get that so quickly.
Not really sure, to be honest. But the two Banshees are going to come in. This feels like a PvT move where you wait for the two, even though you know it's been scouted, and then all of a sudden there's two and they're one-shotting your drones. You're like, oh my god, I thought I had this defended 100%. They're going to get in 3 drones, try to get a couple more here. But there's a lot of queens here to push this back. The Spore has been in position. INno's doing a really good job of picking off some of these exterior drones on the mineral patches, not really losing any damage on his Banshees too. It's going to be able to now go into the natural because the queens did not rally forward over back over here. Holy moly.
Yeah, this is serious, serious damage right now. Look at this. Already 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 kills. Are you kidding me?
What? Oh, he's going to lose
both
both
of them. Who even cares?
I don't care at all because,
oh my
holy
God.
jeez.
If he had a button to kill him himself, he should have done it just to style on him. 19 kills with those two Banshees.
I wish the Banshees had the Oracle dance animation where it's like a disco ball. Like he would have just done that over top the natural and then just suicided them. That was insane amount of damage. You usually do not see that much damage out of 2 Banshees and a TVZ in this stage of the game. INnoVation is going to follow that up with a push to try and deny a third base. 7 at 7:30 is usually when these pushes do tend to happen, and after that start, he's going to really try to push this home. Will it be able to do so? I don't know.
Look, it was great damage, but Baneling Speed's already done. I don't think he's going to end up losing all that much here. He's trying to come in from the other side with the Hellions. The Queen's already there to zone that out. Of course, he's backed up the Medivacs for now. The Spire's going to be finishing up, which is going to make it a little bit harder to get any drop in this. Oh, that was a good move.
Wow.
Got to hand it to him there. Beautiful surround, killing off all of the Hellions. Now the Marines running up as well. He's removed a lot of creep tumors, which is definitely very useful, but overall, no more real damage to Armani.
Something that I did just notice as well is that INnoVation did cut tanks from this entirely. I don't think he has a single tank on the field. So usually those pushes will have some tanks with them to try and really push down the fourth, but INnoVation does not have them. He went full on into the Widow Mines afterwards, and going into Drilling Claws now too. 2-2 is going to be queuing up basically at the same time as Armani, so there's not going to be any upgrade advantages or disadvantages there. Lots of Marines here to deny this Ling counterattack, which at the most might kill or cancel this fourth base, which is actually pretty annoying, but looks like, oh, even a reinforcing flank of Marines is going to be able to completely save this.
Yeah, nice defense there overall. I do actually like the choice to forego the tanks. I think it didn't work out all that well this game because the extra Hellions that he made in that possible tank build time didn't actually end up doing anything, but, you know, what can you do? Looks like he goes ahead with the drop here. Does get one off that kills a lot. Brings up another group of Marine Medevac over here, but looks like it does get chased away pretty quickly.
Pretty good mine connections, but, I mean, it's kind of hard to... Oh, no! Wow.
2.5 mutas go down immediately. Stims and runs right up into this fourth base area.
He's really peering on a knife's edge. I feel like this encapsulates Armani's EVT so much. The Lings are going to try to come in, get a nice surround, but they actually get a nice Baneling hit at the end there. But now on the left side, the Marines are coming in, gets another couple good Baneling hits, loads up, runs away, and Armani is hemorrhaging units pretty decently, I'd say. Whereas INnoVation kind of has the momentum here to keep reinforcing this. He can live with that, I'd say.
INnoVation is playing a beautiful game here. The fact that his fourth base is up and his army supply is twice that of the Ling Bane player, like, you have to be feeling pretty good about where you're at. Now, they are both going to finish up 2-2, so like you mentioned before, no big advantage there. But INnoVation is in control of this game, make no mistake.
Something that is very interesting that I'm curious if we will start to see with this swing over here as he kills off these right side units. Whenever Armani is losing his EVT, he will just go full-on base trade and just counterattack with all of his units. Massive amounts of Ling Mutif counterattacks, and it sometimes, a lot of times actually, does just completely swing the game in his favor, and he's able to then take a seemingly losing game and put it all into the... Oh my god, those Baneling shots, or the Widowmine shots got a ton there. But the fights can just completely swing to his favor, even though he's losing the entire game before that. But INnoVation's doing a good job of denying that. We saw that earlier on that fourth base cancel attempt, and Armani has not really been able to find any of those positions and opportunities this game.
Yeah, you see, right now, it's like every time Armani fights, yeah, he keeps his mutas alive, but he's spending like all of his Ling Bane. He is trying to get up to the Hive, which definitely can help him to get some longer-term equity in these battles. But INnoVation is just getting stronger and stronger. 3-3 is already on the way. Armani trying to do a little bit of some counter-harassment here, bring some Lings and Mutas across the map, but pretty good deflection so far from INnoVation.
He's really not being able to find much here. The Marines and Mines are going to come down to the third base once again. Armani does have some stuff prepared. There's really not that many Banelings here, though, so that's really what you kind of need to defend these. Couple Medevacs do get picked off. That's quite nice. Some Lings trying to get some surrounds. The Widow Mines get some decent shots off, and there's really not too much here to defend from Armani at this point. He really needs to get everything together. The Mutas are coming back in now, but everything's kind of just trickling in one at a time. There's really nothing here to buffer for these Banelings. INno's not even splitting for this. Wow. He disrespects it that much, and he is just going to stomp this third base to a win. Excellent done. Excellently done by Inno.
You know what that looked like? That looked like INnoVation versus Armani, but maybe last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was some pretty dominating performance from INnoVation. I guess the stacking of the two Banshees kind of caught Armani off guard a little bit.
It's the TVP move. You don't you scout it. You're like, oh, I'm so prepared. I'm so prepared for these Banshees. I saw it immediately. Oh, they're not going to do anything, and then they just wait. then there's 2 all of a sudden that show up, and you're just like, oh my gosh.
Armani's queen movement was not really very good there. He was not retreating drones. 19 drones lost, and then INnoVation just immaculate multitasking, hitting on both sides. Armani just didn't have a chance to come back.
I really want to see what happens in a game where those 2019 drones don't die.
Yeah, no, it definitely looks very different from what we just saw.
Hopefully that'll happen this time. Or if you're an Inno fan, hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it does happen again.
Well, you want to see him at least fight for what he's getting, right? You want to see it.
Game start.
Maybe.
KaiZ Gaming. INnoVation. Afrika Freaks. Armani.
Inno's face just looks so like, just like, I'm happy with what just happened right there. He looks so contempt. Oh my gosh.
He's sometimes it's hard to read him, but the slight changes and smirks. I think we've all watched INnoVation long enough that we know.
Oh my goodness.
We know the thoughts in the head.
It is kind of interesting though, because you say that, you know, some players or some people, some fans would want to watch him at least try to put up a fight against the other player or whatever. Then I feel like there's the other fans that will just be like, no, I want my player to stomp everything and not look defeated in any way possible.
Yeah, those fans definitely do exist. I know exactly the ones you're talking about.
He's sitting right next to you.
We call it, yeah, that's true. And then I was going to say we call them Flash fans, because that's generally how his games go. But I mean, I would like to see a game in which Armani does not take critical losses right off the bat, because anytime you see that, it's kind of like, I mean, he took some very good engagements. His defense was pretty good overall, but INnoVation just like Tasteless always likes to say it's a game of numbers, right, or a game of math, where it's like, yeah, I know he just INnoVation like expanded just right. He blocked all the harassment that came in, and then he had too many units, and that was it. And like you said, he did not even micro back against the final group of Banes. He's just like, no, you have to leave. That's it.
Complete disrespect at the end. Just like, yep, I have the numbers have been crunched in my head. I've calculated it. I have won. Get out.
Those Banelings will just barely not touch my Marines.
Oh my goodness.
Whereas I'm sure if you see a charmer like Beyond, he'll be microing against one Baneling with his whole army.
But my fans, I must show them I can do it still. My wrist, it's not hurting me, I promise.
Indeed. Now, a little bit, I mean, it's a Reaper expand, so we got to see this Reaper damage these things. It's really important.
Oh boy. We're going to get the Reddit analysis again of how many times this did anything. Oh, we almost didn't. Oh, he did lose
one. Got one.
Oh my gosh. Is he going to get a second?
No, he's not.
He's going to lose the Reaper.
Fool.
He's going to lose the Reaper.
This is a round of 4 Zerg.
So oh yeah, INnoVation's a round of 8 Terran apparently this year.
Yeah, apparently.
That's why he just lost that.
A guy with 3 championships is calling a round of 8 Terran. That's fair. All right, so it's a quick third command. This is INnoVation's like bread and butter TVZ build. Reactored Hellions with 3 command centers. He loves it. He does it so often. What is that building you just put on Starport? So actually seeing the Starport, you know that there's a third command as well. Yeah. So Armani got all the info that he really needs.
Do you think Inno's going to pull out a BC build?
Oh gosh.
I know those are super. I know those are super like out of flavor now.
Yeah, I haven't seen one in a while actually. No, I don't think we'll see it from him. I mean, this is the last GSL of the year. Well, I guess we're in December, so it doesn't mean like all that much. But you know, I don't really foresee him doing something like that. I think that would be something that Armani would not really have that hard of a time dealing with.
Kind of want to see it though.
I mean, I love BC openers. They're fun. It's fun to see the Terran tech all the way to literally the last unit in the game and then harass with it for the whole game.
Yeah, like
there's something feels very wrong about it, but
just
very right as well.
The game theory behind the actual build itself just feels very funny whenever I watch it. It's like, is this really supposed to be happening? But I guess it is.
Just the fact that it teleports, it's like,
it's
like, yeah, it is supposed to be happening because it literally can just jump away. It's amazing. The only way that this can be bad is if you buy too many and your opponent hard counters them. So it's like, okay, so I won't buy too many. I'm like, you got it. There you go.
You figured it out.
Yeah.
We got a close Banshee opener, by the way.
It's kind of funny, actually, now that I think about it. It's like the BC is a unit that's so good that the only way it becomes bad is if you make too many of them. Because it's, like, expensive, you know?
Yeah.
It takes too much time to put all that money in.
It's like, well, what happened if we could make multiple motherships? I'm sure there'd be someone that'd be baited into trying to make like
Minus
2 or 3.
800, 800.
Yeah. Roddy's over there having an absolute aneurysm watching all these motherships die. Hellions gonna try to come in, get a. I think did they get a creep tumor maybe? If
Yeah,
that, anything at all.
that's it.
Not really too much. Lings are gonna come in, corner a couple Marines. Their lives are flashing before their minds. Oh my gosh, terrible. The Banshee's gonna help out. Amazing commentary.
Fantastic. A lot of Lings being popped out right now to help deal with those Hellions. Some good queen movement around the map. Of course, we have the Spire starting up here. And definitely a different focus from Armani this game, right? We don't see the Evos yet. We don't see Baneling Speed. Last game, he went Baneling Speed, Evos, Spire. The Spire was quite a bit later. Here, it's Spire first, and we'll see where he goes from there. A lot of gases on the way.
Want to see how many mutas he actually does make. Here come the double Banshees. Last time they got 19 drones. What is going to happen this time? Armani is a little bit more prepared. He had that Overlord scouting, seeing it, gets one on the rally. Queen actually might die here. Yeah, gets it picked off right there, gets another drone. The Queens are in a much better position to kind of corner these Banshees and prevent them from getting the massive damage last time, but they're still getting some good picks.
Damage. Does INnoVation just know everyone's weakness? He's like, yeah, this guy can't beat Banshees, this guy can't beat Mines.
Ooh, that was a nice save right there.
Yeah.
Like those.
Look at this, still 7 kills. Still 7 kills. Sees the exact timing of the Spire, that's very useful.
Loses 1, but how can you complain when you've killed 9 drones and a... Oh,
and
we're
counting,
gonna keep more.
counting. He's still getting them. Look at that, 11 drones? And he got a queen.
And he's going to run out. Oh!
Yeah, he's dead, okay.
Dang it.
Okay, so 11 drones and a queen this time. And it's a fast 3 command center build. Like, you have to be very happy with that harassment.
Absolutely.
Armani, on the other hand, this almost feels like the 2-hatch build, but with 3-hatch. You know, where it's like Muta, and now here's the Baneling Speed, and your upgrades are literally going to be 2 behind for the entire game. That's which is what we normally see with the 2-hat Muta, but this is a 3-hat build, so even though he lost the 11 drones, the way he's playing it makes me feel like he might still be able to fight back a bit better than last game.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do here. The Banelings and Lings going in for the surround. Hellions are going to be able to soak up a decent amount. The Mines didn't really get many good connections on the back end, so Armani with a pretty decent first defense here. Let's see where he can go with this and what kind of damage he can now get done with these Mutas, what kind of map control he can take with the creep, and where he can go into the mid game from here.
And the Armory just finished up here for INnoVation, so he's going to go into Drilling Claws. Certainly 2-2 is going to start. Armani's 1-1 just starting as well, so you can definitely see a really big difference is going to open up as far as those upgrades go. But these Mutas, this is kind of like Armani's hopes and dreams. They're tied up in these Mutas, and unfortunately for him, they're being chased away.
Oh no, these 2 Mines.
Oh no.
Luckily, that second one somehow did not go off, so he didn't only lost 1.
Is that a German Shepherd? Is that a bloodhound? What type of dog is that?
We've been deteriorated to casting critters, in-game critters, just trying to figure out what they are. The ones that you will always kill every game in your Brood War games, aren't? Isn't that right? I've just learned this apparently.
Gotta get rid of them, man. Clean that map.
Someone called PETA.
So, I mean, it feels like he's trying to be active with these Mutas, but INnoVation is doing a really good job. The mines are spread in such a way. He's having a hard time doing anything. Look, he might chase him into the mine.
Oh, not
just barely not.
Oh, the Overseer gets picked off. That's actually really annoying, because now we can't find the Widow Mines on the middle of the field and trying to pick them off. So these Mutas really have not been able to do anything after that initial defensive push. INnoVation's up like 40 supply all of a sudden. And I mean, Armani, he's getting his 4th base set up. He's got his creep tumor getting denied once again at that 4th base. Actually getting a couple Widow Mines here before the fight happens is quite good. Lifts these Marines over away, but now we have to see if he can defend the stuff on the left side as well.
INnoVation, it feels like, not every move is perfect here, but overall, oh my god, the Mines hitting the Mutas there as well. It feels like overall that he is just really playing better than Armani here. I'm getting really nervous for our Zerg.
Yeah, this is... If the series continues this way, I'm assuming a second 3-0. But hopefully Armani has pulled games back, series back. Here we go again with one of his super swingy Mass Ling Muta counterattacks. Good bottleneck from INnoVation on the supply depot. Going to really prevent a lot of this from happening and to give him enough time to get his reinforcements back over. And this was absolutely not the damage that Armani was looking for. Although on the back end, these Lings actually did get into the third base. Suddenly, 18 SCVs are getting killed off. 19.
Yeah.
And so, actually, not the worst damage. Did lose a lot for it, though.
Yeah, I think overall you can look at that attack and say it was good for Armani, but was it good enough in this type of situation where he's already taken a bunch of damage?
Yeah.
That's the real question, I guess. Now, INnoVation pushing up. He is trying to hit this fourth base. Oh, my God. A lot of Ling Bane rolling forward. INnoVation trying to get back a couple connections. Armani's, it seems like he's going to save the hatchery for now, but INnoVation's positioning is really hard to deal with.
Yeah, instead of tanks being chucked up in the corner, we've got a whole bunch of Marines and mines doing it. So there's just like almost nothing for Armani here to really engage with. He really needs to get a split off on that left side so he can come from behind, but there's not enough creep spread for him to do that in an efficient manner, and he's just continuously going back and forth on this, trying to save this fourth base. But now he's finally going over to the left side a little bit to try and get a bit of a flank, or even just doing another counterattack, it seems like. Like I said, if he's in trouble, he goes across the map, tries to find something. Inno is fully prepared again, and all of a sudden, he's lost his fourth base for basically nothing.
Yeah, and in fact, he got whittled down there a bit as well, so very painful stuff. INnoVation up a couple of upgrades, controlling the map. There's good creep spread in front of the rest of the bases, so it's not going to be as easy for INnoVation to kill the next one. But Armani, it doesn't feel like he's building towards a victory. It feels like he's just trying to stay alive.
Yeah, absolutely. This whole game after that first push and then the Muta's not finding any damage, it's really felt just him trying to outlast whatever he can. He's going to try to get in here before the mines are fully boarded, but the speed burrow does go down. Plenty of Widow Mine shots blanketing all of those Banes and Lings. Once again, the Marines getting pulled back. Marauders soaking up a good amount. A couple of the Banelings barely getting through.
Hey, all right. Well, those Baneling connections were pretty good. That means the Mutas can clean up a really lot of these Marauders. Looks like the Medivacs, for the most part, are going to get away. He'll pick off a few. Finally, Armani has a really good engagement there.
And that is what he's been looking for the last, like, 6 minutes, 7 minutes or so.
Yeah.
He's been trying to find that one big sweep. Is it too late, is my question. I feel like this came a little bit too late for him after losing that fourth base. He did have the fifth already set up, which is really good for him. His drone count really hasn't been affected. So can he get another swing here? The big mine shot getting off that giant clump of Ling Bane. This has kind of been the story of this game, I feel like. Only once or twice has he actually gotten some good connections with them. A lot of Marauders soaking up those as well. The Mutas have been staying alive for these last couple fights, which is pretty good. And now there's actually not too many Marines left over. Can he actually dislodge this?
You know, even if he holds on here, like, I guess if he gets all the Medivacs, it starts to become real good. But just the reinforcements of INnoVation coming up. Look at this. More mines, more Marines. And you can see Armani's, the Ling Bane he's fighting with is getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah. It's very apparent. The amount of red is quickly dwindling, although he is kind of capitalizing on this. He's getting a pretty good catch here. Mines are going to burrow again. Actually kills both of them before either of them go off, so that actually was not too bad either. But again, he's just going to leave. Oh,
yeah,
well, there you go.
Yeah. He was just not having enough units come out at once. INnoVation keeping that creep back. Just beautiful play from INnoVation, I have to say. I can't believe his Banshees did that much 2 games in a row.
Yeah, seriously.
That was really surprising and impressive. And Armani's build overall just felt a little bit strange to me because it really looked like the 2-hat Muta that's very popular. Maybe he's trying to play around with against the Fast Third Command Center to do like the 2-hat idea with 3-hat. That's my idea of what maybe he's thinking about there. But unfortunately for him, like you pointed out in the game, he didn't get anything done with the Mutas. They weren't able to dictate anything for INnoVation. And when you can't do that, being down upgrades is not going to help you out.
It must be so frustrating knowing that the Banshees get so much damage done, and then you're trying to do the same with the Mutas, and then Inno is just completely on top of it as well. It's just like the most demoralizing feeling ever.
You're making way more flying units and getting way less done with it. It's sad. All right, let's go. Game number 3.
KaiZ Gaming, INnoVation. Afrika Freaks, Armani.
right. I'm hoping that Armani can pull something together here and give us a longer series. If we just have 3-0s all day, will you have really even casted GSL?
Might as well just not have existed.
I know.
It's like I just got here and I'm not
Life
even
is
doing anything.
meaningless.
What is life if I can't cast full 5-game best
I
of
know.
5s?
We had so many epic ones the other night.
Oh, I know. I'm the curse. I'm the GSL curse.
guess.
Bring me in here. We got some terrible games. I got nothing to do here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're seeing some one-sided domination so far. Some really great play out of our big-name players. The up-and-comers that are challenging them. Not faring quite as well.
Armani has had some series in GSL recently where he does end up behind at the beginning, but ends up pulling it back. So, not completely counting him out, but those first 2 games didn't exactly look convincing, to say the least.
Well, I mean, when you're opening up, losing a gigantic chunk of your economy to 2 Banshees, that's never good. I wonder if INnoVation's just going to do exactly the same thing.
I was literally about to ask, do you think he does it again?
He might. He might.
Oh,
I mean,
do it again.
You can't blame him. If he does something else and it doesn't work, then suddenly you feel stupid for not doing the same thing, right? Like,
yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like if I would have killed 30 drones between 4 Banshees in 2 games, I'd be thinking to myself, he's really going to block Banshee this time, you know?
And that's when you do it again, so that way
Yeah.
they definitely don't expect it.
Play right into it. He's like, I don't know,
the-
I'm
it's
just
the
playing this
ul-
like it's a ladder.
It's the ultra alpha move. You know they're going to be super prepared for it. You just do it anyway, and you still kill 30 drones.
My God. That's bringing me back to Wings of Liberty right there.
My absolute Achilles heel throughout the entirety of Wings was 2 Port Cloak Banshee. Does not
2
matter.
Port Cloak, yeah.
Yes. Does not matter how good or bad the player was. I would have always lost that build.
Yeah.
Even if it, like there was someone that's,
Yeah, that build was-
diamond or plat, and I'm sitting here in Masters, I'm like, okay, I got this easy. And then he's ringing his base with turrets, and there's 2
Yeah.
Port Banshees that I can't see in his base. I lost every time.
Yeah, no, it actually, people were so bad in Wings of Liberty. That was 100% true. I actually, because I was a Zerg player in Wings, and so was Hydra, and I literally didn't play any Terran. And I'm like, here, let me play with Terran. And so I went 2 Port Cloaked Banshee against him and killed him with it, and he was not too happy. But it's like it was the most skillless, easy way to win games back then.
You have just really... I feel so much better about everything that happened in those few games that I would play. Oh, it's great. Same build. Inno going for the same 3cc. Hellion. Reaper's trying to get in here. Not going to see too much. It gets thwarted. Let's try to see. Will that Banshee come up?
I'm starting to think it will. And INnoVation
There's
is
a tech lab.
known for oftentimes kind of going on autopilot and doing the same thing over and over. We do see a tech lab being made. I'm sure that's right near the starport. So yeah.
Oh, the link gets in. It's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, though, you can see it coming. And it does that.
This
does
is
that
the
matter?
the alpha move is being set up. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna lower the depot. Let him scout me.
Just
I will
give him vision for the whole game.
Exactly.
It's like you shouldn't get cloak then INnoVation. That doesn't make sense.
Oh my goodness. All right, Banshee's coming out. There's the cloak.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh boy, I want to see how many. What's the bet? How many drones do you think he's gonna get? Ooh, that was a nice little.
All right, here's
pop over. I like that.
Let's see. You got 19, then 11.
Yeah.
He's gonna
And
get
a queen.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I have to adjust. I think he won't get a queen this time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say he's going to get still 7 drones.
I'm gonna go for 10.
10 drones.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. So that's almost the same as last time.
Yes, 10 minus the queen. I don't think he gets a queen either. Or he gets like a queen and like 3 drones.
This is a really weird thing to bet on, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm there with you. No queen, yeah. Definitely no queen. Why do we think no queen?
For no real reason.
Yeah.
This is something that I do it. Wait, what?
No,
okay.
it's an armory. So
okay.
like, I think this is going to be something else.
Oh, he might do the he might do a Banshee Hellbat push now.
Yeah.
So he might switch it up a little bit, or
no, I think that's what it is.
There's nothing else it could
look
be,
at how
right?
many Hellions he's making.
Yeah.
It's definitely a Hellbat Banshee. And like it's even more obvious to us because there's only 2 Hellions running around.
Oh, yeah?
This is how you
That's
try
true.
to bamboozle them.
Well,
It's like, oh, it's only 2. Like I guess maybe it's mines. Like, you know.
Armani's going to see the extra Hellions now. He sees 4 of them, which is not really abnormal because Inno still, the last 2 games, did go for like 6 to 8 Hellions anyway, didn't they? So I don't think he's really going to be thinking about it too much. He's got 3 drones in production, 6 slings, that's it. Gets 2 extra gases. More drones just got queued up. I'm feeling a little frightful for Armani right now.
Yeah. His Baneling Nest is a little bit
drones.
later this time. 4 queens here. Ooh. Okay, he's bringing the Spore. That's not really the most helpful. We got to have some really great micro here for sure. Oh, the Banshee's coming in from behind, and that is a lot of Hellbats. That is very, very, very many.
Oh my god, the Banshees behind are not getting dealt with whatsoever. Both of them are still fully alive. The Queens now getting bottlenecked back into the Nat. We'll try to focus a few of them down, but then they just end up getting killed by the Hellbats in front of them because there's literally nothing else here. Everything else is in production, and it's full lings. There's not even a single Baneling on the production tab, and INnoVation is completely ransacking it. 3-0.
Wow, a massacre. And Armani showing 3 different openers there. INnoVation showing 2. That third game, he kind of made it look similar to the other 2 games, but then had those Hellbats. You can see he's quite happy with himself. Goes on to that round of 8 once again, keeping that record alive for the year. His worst finishes so far this year in that round of 8. Armani, unfortunately, just kind of not good enough in the early game defense, which is, I feel slightly surprised because I feel like he really has upped his game overall in the last few months. But there it kind of, like, you could have shown me this game last year, and I'd be like, Armani got a super tournament, nice. You know, and I'd be like, yeah, no, this is how it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I hope that maybe this was a fluke, and next GSL season, next year, he does a bit better.
Yep.
That being said, we are going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, Rogue against Buddy.